हेलो ऑल, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। स्वागत है आप सबका मेरे इस चैनल पर।
The next topic is PLM strategy. PLM vision should be properly framed. Okay, if it is not properly framed, then what will happen? There is no point in framing the vision. Now the next topic here is strategy. Strategy is all of you understand the meaning of what strategy. Okay, the strategy is the science of planning and directing large military scale operations, specifically of steering forces into the most advantageous position prior to actual engagement with the enemy. Now this is talking about the strategy of military, how military defines strategy as. In general, it can be called as science of developing and employing the political, economical, sociological, and military forces of a nation. All these definitions are with respect to military because the strategy first emerged in military only. That's why these definitions are related to military only. In warfare, strategy is the science or art of employing all the military, economics, political, and other resources of a nation to achieve the objective of war. Okay, another definition, a strategy is a general method of for achieving specific objective. So this is our definition which we understand. Strategy means we frame something, some method, some technique so that our objective can be achieved. So that is a general meaning of strategy, a regular meaning of strategy. Um, okay. Uh, it was not properly animated anyway. So PLM strategy, so what exactly is strategy? Strategy is a process of forming certain rules, certain principles so that the set objectives can be achieved. Now the strategy for PLM has to be has to go through these 5 steps. Okay, in order to achieve the PLM vision, these are the steps that you have to follow. Now out of this, some steps are not given in the syllabus, but then I need to teach those also to complete this topic of PLM strategy. Okay, if you see the syllabus, collecting information is not there, then communicating is not there. Okay, so those things we have to learn it for completing the topic of PLM strategy. So now we will see these 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, based on which the PLM vision can be achieved. Okay, unless and until there is strategy, vision cannot be achieved. So you must have heard about our department vision, the department vision, vision and mission. So vision, now we have understood, it is a thing which we want ourselves to see after 5 years. Okay, and what is mission? Mission are the steps to fulfill those vision. Similarly here, they have used the words. Okay, the first point here is now collecting information. So in that, first we'll see what are the industrial strategy. Now the history of war provide many examples of strategy. Uh, I told you that the strategy word, it came first for the military organization. Okay, so history of war, you must have heard about so many strategies are done in military in the war during the war period. Okay, so it is the same strategy that you are understanding. Another area where examples are numerous is manufacturing operation. Okay, so now since we are into PLM, we are into manufacturing or selling of a product. So we are focusing now on the area of manufacturing for strategies. So first is history, first is war or military. Second is the area of manufacturing where so many strategies are implemented. And the strategies are implemented so that the 4 M's, men, machine, material, and money are properly utilized. If they are properly utilized, then the output will be good. So for many years, maybe thousands of years, manufacturing productivity was slow, or it was less. Now I will be taking you to the industrial revolutions. Now we are in the fourth industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution saw mechanization. Okay, many things which were done by hand were then done by machines. That was the first industrial revolution. In the second industrial revolution, what happened? Assembly line concept came into the picture. So before the first and in the second industrial revolution, what happened, that I am going to explain. So the first industrial revolution saw mechanization of things. पहले जो काम हाथ से किया जाता था, those were now done by the machines. Okay, that is mechanization. No, I am giving one example here. Adam Smith, in The Wealth of Nation 1766, he described a new system in the pin factory. What he described? No, he described that a pin is to be manufactured. So, for manufacturing pin, what he said? He said that one man will draw the wire. There is a coil of wire, and from wire pin is made. Pin क्या होता है? Pin is which we tag it to the paper. Okay, that is a pin. So one man will open the bunch of wire, other person will straight it, the third person will cut it. Okay, he will cut it into pieces. The next person will grind it at the top. He will cut it, and another person will grind it at the top, so that a head is formed. And then someone will give grinding at the bottom also, so that the pin can be inserted into the paper. So he divided the work of forming the pin into maybe 17 to 18 operations, and he employed 18 people for doing this operation. So what happened here? Instead of doing the work by machine, it was not that the wire will go on the machine and finally we'll get the product. That we see now because it came in the third industrial revolution. So this is what he decided, that the work will be divided into number of people, and the people will work on the different machines. So workers were assigned to a particular position at which they carry out a specific task. They will do it at a particular position only. Then machine tool changed the environment again. After a few years, again the machine tool changed the environment, leading to strategy of mass production. Now this concept which was given by the Adam Smith, though that from that concept mass production started, and mass production of components like pin is manufactured. So there will be a wire. That wire will become straight. It will be cut into pieces, and then it will be grind at one end, and other end head will be formed, and then it will go and lie in some of the bin where it will be collected. So it was done by machines then afterwards. Then, in mass production, the task could be performed by unskilled labor. No, with this mass production, many of the operations were done by machine. So, skilled labor were not needed. Unskilled laborers were employed. So, anyone could do the task. Just have to operate the machine. That's it. Then manufacturing enterprise grew to such a small size that the hierarchy of superior and managers become necessary. Though then after a few years, it such happened that there was a need of manager, there was a need of supervisor, and a hierarchy should have been followed. engineers, and so on. Then came the second industrial revolution, and the second industrial revolution was brought by Henry Ford, and he brought it the concept from actually he saw Henry Ford meat packing industry. Okay, meat packing industry. So based on the meat packing industry, it brought the concept of assembly line. So this was the start of the second industrial revolution, and the assembly line was brought into the picture, where parts will be produced in steps, one after the other. Then afterwards, Frederick Taylor brought a scientific approach to this principle. Then the disadvantages of the scientific approach came forward, and no, there is one more thing that happened here with Frederick Taylor. What he did, he used the principle of time study and work study. What he did, he applied lights on the finger of the operator, and he recorded the motion of the lights, and then he found the productivity. But then afterwards, Mayo found that productivity rose even if when the lighting condition didn't change, even if the workers are not moving their hand, so the lights are not moving, so then also the productivity can increase. So this is what was given by Mayo. Just by involving the workers, a new attitude was created. So he, from here onwards, he said that okay, there is no need to apply lights on the finger or hands of the worker, and just involve them in the work, and the output can be increased. Division of labor. So the labor was divided and mass production was changed. Then came the third industrial revolution. What happened in third industrial revolution? In the third industrial revolution, CNC machines, NC machines came. Then flexible manufacturing system, computers were introduced, and again this brought to the new strategy. In 60s and 70s, just in time concept was introduced. Okay, so this concept was used to reduce the wastage. Again, manufacturers in developed country outsource the part. In now, this concept of outsourcing had come because the countries where the cost is low, there if the part is manufactured, then it will be cheaper for the company. So they adopted a new strategy of manufacturing the part by giving it to the country where it is manufactured cheaply, and then those parts were used in the product. So outsourcing concept came, and then came again the concept of flexible manufacturing system. So as in the military environment, as manufacturing resources and technologies change, strategies also change. But then what is the crux of this? इसको यही बोलना है कि there are so many strategies in military. Okay, similarly in manufacturing also there are so many strategies. So right from the first industrial revolution till the fourth industrial revolution, right now industry 4.0, so many strategy change have been seen in the industry. Then there is another topic which says about the company strategy. Okay, two main strategies are used by the company. First is the cost leadership strategy, and second is the differentiation strategy. Cost leadership strategy, and the second is differentiation strategy. So what happens in the cost leadership strategy? It aims for the low product cost in the particular industry. Matlab, what will it reduce? It will reduce the product cost. So how it will reduce the product cost? By selling a low cost product in the large number, or the cost of product development is spread over the large number of products. Then manufacturing cost is reduced. So by doing all these activities, they have brought another strategy. What is that called as cost leadership strategy, मतलब cost कम करने का. Then another strategy that came was again differentiation strategy. It was based on having a product different from competitors, make some changes in the product, because if it is a unique product, it will not be sold. So another strategy was brought, that is called as differentiation strategy. So product is made different from the competitor's product. Then there are few other strategies which came forward, that one is niche strategy and trend leadership strategy. Okay, so what is this niche strategy? It is a strategy which serves a particular. Then there is another strategy which came, that is trained leadership. Okay, so what does this trained leadership says? It says that the leadership is not going work better. The product is not getting proper sell. So change the leader. Okay, the leader should be such that he should get more and more what business in the market. So basically, this says that change the leader. Okay, so this is another strategy which came afterwards. Then so many other strategies: low cost variety strategy, fast response time strategy, partnering strategy, process based strategy, capacities based strategy, and so on. So all these strategies had come, and the driving force behind many of these strategies was Japanese company. Okay, these companies were finding new strategy every time, and those strategies were implemented in the market. Then the next step here is collecting the information. So information can be collected based on the strategy. So good understanding of the activities in the PLC is needed to develop a PLM strategy. हाउ विल यू डेवलप अ स्ट्रेटजी? तुमको कोई स्ट्रेटजी बनाना है, कोई प्लान बनाना है, तो उसके लिए क्या चाहिए? नॉलेज चाहिए. किस चीज़ का नॉलेज चाहिए? प्रोडक्ट का नॉलेज चाहिए. अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए प्रोडक्ट का. दिस अंडरस्टैंडिंग मस्ट बी बेस्ड ऑन फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन एंड नॉट ऑन गेसेस और ओपिनियंस. Now when you are forming a strategy, because this strategy will lead to formation of vision. Okay, so when you are forming the strategy, you should have some understanding of the information, and that information should be actual. It should not be guesses, it should not be opinions. Then there are various techniques for gathering this information. The techniques can be brainstorming, मतलब discussion करो, questionnaires can be there. बहुत से क्वेश्चन है, उसको फॉलो करो एंड यू कैन गेट द इंफॉर्मेशन. Alternately, carry out an analysis of typical product by following it through its life cycle. Do the analysis of the product, how it goes through its life cycle. This will also help to give the uh, factual information, actual information about the activities, understanding of the activities, and then the PLM strategy can be formulated. Then it can be used to get a good understanding of the current situation of the life cycle from the point of view of products, process, people, systems, and information. So after getting information, it should be analyzed. So when the information is obtained, yeah, it should be properly analyzed whether the meaning of the information is what is the meaning of the information, whether the information obtained is correct or not. It should be cross-checked and it should be properly structured. It should be arranged in a proper fashion. Activities should be ordered in logical sequence. Make some sequence in which you can arrange the activities. Then prepare the flow diagram. If it is difficult for understanding on the basis of activities or steps, make the flow diagram which will understand the activities properly. Then the information should be shown to people who provided it. Cross check it with them that you have provided this information. Based on the information, we have prepared this sequence, we have prepared this flow diagram. Just go through this information, tell us whether this information that you have provided is correct or not. Now what we did here, after this after understanding, so let me go through this again. Okay, vision is done. Vision is done, and for vision we need to break down the strategy into strategies. Okay, अभी strategies में क्या है? First we have seen that there are various definitions of strategies, and these definitions are basically have come from the military or come from the manufacturing. Then we have seen here that The PLM strategies can be divided into 5 steps. By going through these 5 steps, the PLM strategy can be made, and that strategy can lead to the PLM vision. So, first step is collecting information. Now, collecting information about strategy. So, first, what is strategy? From where will we collect information? We will collect information from the various strategies that were followed by the industry. Okay, so right from first industrial revolution to second to third to fourth, there are various strategies which are followed by the industry. Find out something from those industrial strategies. Then there are some company strategies. Okay, I have listed this strategies. Find out something from this company strategies. What information can you get? After doing all this, then the first step is to collect the information. So where from will you collect the information? You can collect the information by asking questions, by discussing. Now, when you are saying brainstorming or discussing, that time you should know what are the various strategies which are followed up till now, and then based on the strategies you can discuss the things, and then you can suggest that okay, for our product this strategy would fit best. Then, after you have collected the information, process the analyze the information properly, make some sequence of the information, make some flow diagrams, and show it to the people to whom from whom you have taken collected the information. After this is done, it will be clear that the current life cycle is full of redundancy and inefficiency. The life cycle that is followed right now for the product, you will come to know that after getting this information that you are doing same thing again and again, repetitive work is done and efficiency is less. The activities which you are doing are most of them, those activities are illogical. You are doing unnecessarily for no reason, and those are wasteful. They are not going to help in the product productivity improvement. Some administrative procedures will be found to be unnecessary or duplicated. मतलब कहने का मतलब ये है कि फालतू की चीजें हम कर रहे थे जिसकी जरूरत नहीं है। ये कैसे पता चला हमको? ये पता चलने के लिए हमने ये पहला स्टेप यूज किया, दैट इज कलेक्टिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन। हमने एनालिसिस किया इन्फॉर्मेशन का और पता चला कि ये फालतू काम हम कर रहे थे। सम इन्फॉर्मेशन में नेवर बी यूज्ड। Okay, some products will be poor performer, some projects will be never ending. Some products are poor performer. We are not getting anything from it. Why are we still continuing with those products? Okay, so this information is to be first collected. After the information is collected, the next step is to identify the strategies. Now you have a base of so many strategies that were followed by the industry, that were followed by the military, that were followed by the company. You also have identified the information that is redundant, that is wasteful, that is not needed, so that is discarded. Now you can start identifying the strategies, which strategies can be implemented. So in the step of strategy development, several potential strategies are identified and formulated. Now, out of the 25-30 strategies that you have already studied, identify some 4 or 5 strategies. Business strategies include low cost, differentiation, then niche, then leadership, then follower, then low cost variety. There should be comma here and there should be comma here also. Then fast response time. So these are some of the strategies that are listed here. So you can identify some of the strategies like this. Strategies for PLM may be obvious for the organization's current and previous strategies. Okay, it's not that you are a new company. It's not that you are running the company right now, starting a new company. You already had some strategies. Now you are channelizing the strategies in a proper way. So whatever strategies you had earlier, think about those strategies. Think of the strategies from the competitor. Think of the strategies which other business, competitor are having, and then from based on that develop your own strategy. But the strategy chosen for PLM has to meet the objective of the company. ऐसा नहीं कि दूसरा कंपनी बोलता है कि सस्ते में बेचो, कुछ भी बेचो और पैसा कमाओ। नहीं, you don't want to have those strategy. You want the strategy that ओके, सस्ते में बेचेंगे ठीक है, लेकिन कोई भी प्रोडक्ट नहीं बेचेंगे, हमारा प्रोडक्ट अच्छा ही होना चाहिए. सो जस्ट डोंट कॉपी एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम अदर्स, जस्ट सी दैट what others are saying, what others strategies are, and does it fit in your shoe. If it fits in your shoe, you take it. If not, then modify it. It is important that PLM strategy be very clear, simple, because it's confusing and complex if it fails. जो भी स्ट्रेटेजी फाइंड आइडेंटिफाई करोगे, फाइनलाइज करोगे, वो क्लियर होना चाहिए, सिंपल होना चाहिए, सबको इजीली समझना चाहिए और कंफ्यूजिंग नहीं होना चाहिए. Then there is another topic in the syllabus, that is strategy element. So after identifying the strategies, now you can break down the strategies again into small elements, that is called as strategy element. मतलब strategy है, उसका सब point है strategy element. सब you can call it as sub strategy, sub strategy. So PLM strategy is based on strategy element. There can be many elements used to form a strategy. एक कोई particular strategy बनाने के लिए there can be so many sub strategies in it. Okay, if I want to give you an example of a cricket here, your strategy is to take 3 wickets. Suppose it's a test match and your strategy is to take 3 wickets in one session. अब ये पहला सेशन है, इसमें 3 विकेट अपोजिशन का लेना ही लेना है. नाउ दिस इज द स्ट्रेटजी. नाउ इन दिस स्ट्रेटजी यू कैन हैव सम सब स्ट्रेटजीज, लाइक फर्स्ट bowler A will bowl the 4 overs, then bowler B will bowl 5 overs, then bowler C will bowl. This is one way of one sub strategies or one element. Or else you can say that bowler A will bowl for 10 overs, and then we will employ next bowler. Okay, like that. So you can have small strategies in big strategies. That is called a strategy element. The name given to a strategy has to be meaningful and self-descriptive. Strategy elements at a lower level are at a lower level than the strategy. So I said that strategy element मतलब क्या है? सब strategy है. So it is at lower level. Customer focus is an example of strategy element. Now, if I want to give an example of strategy element, the example is customer focus. मतलब you are thinking about focusing on the customer. Now, this may not always be a, this is a sub strategy. Okay, focus on the customer. इतना ही है क्या? No, it's not only that. Your strategy is not only on focusing on customer, you also have to focus on the product, you also have to focus on the globalization of the thing, you also have to focus on the new things that are coming in the market, new technology. So all these are the strategies. So this is a sub strategy. Itna hi hai, a customer focus is a sub strategy or a element of the strategy. And taking all this together will be, so that's what it is written here. Probably all organizations now claim to have customer focus तो सभी कर रहे हैं. तो ये स्ट्रेटेजी एलिमेंट जो है कस्टमर फोकस करने का, ये इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. ओके, सो यू कैन साइडलाइन इट. Usually strategy can't be based on just one strategy element, so customer focus cannot be the only strategy. There are other strategy element also. Combine all those and then frame the strategy. PLM strategies aren't one dimensional, so you cannot have one dimensional strategy. Like customer focus is one dimensional, you cannot have one dimensional strategy. You have to think holistically. It may appear that all elements should be needed. हाँ, ऐसे भी हो सकता है. Sometimes it may happen that you may think that अरे customer का focus भी important है, product का वो अच्छा होना भी important a strategy element can be maximum reuse of the parts. But then if you are focusing on only one, then others may not be that value given to other strategies. So you have to think of what strategy elements you have to take together so that a strategy is to be formed. So exact meaning of strategy element will differ from one company to other company. Whatever I am telling maybe suiting for be suitable for one company, it may not be suitable for the other company. Okay, so it will be different for different companies. So for example, one strategy element is fastest time to market, another strategy element is lowest cost competitor. So one of the strategy element that is fastest time to market means I am developing the product fast, I am making the design fast, I am manufacturing the product fast. This may be the strategy of one company. Other company will say, no, my product can come late. I am not interested in that, but it should be a low cost product like this. So I have already explained you what is fastest time to market. The same thing is written here, and lowest cost competition. मतलब cost कम होना चाहिए. Basically, it's telling about that. Okay, so this is about strategy element. So strategy element मतलब it is a छोटा part of strategy. Then the next step is strategy selection. So once the strategy is finalized, you have to select the strategy. So here potential strategies are tested and most appropriate strategies selected. So what you did in the first step, you have just gathered the information about what are the various strategies, what are the various questions, and you have gathered the knowledge about what are the various strategies. In the second stage, what you did, you identified the strategies. Okay, these are 8 to 10 strategies which can suit best to my company. Now the third stage is the strategy selection. Okay, which strategy should be selected? So here potential strategies, if you feel that out of the 10 strategies, 3 to 4 strategies can suit to the company, then those strategies can be tested in the most appropriate strategies selected. This should lead to an in-depth understanding of the possible strategy. The 3 to 4 strategies that you have selected, you should do the SWOT analysis of the strategies, and SWOT analysis applied strength and weakness applied to the organization for which the strategy is being developed, and opportunity and threats are for those for the environment. Then again, strength and weakness can be those of the present and or future situation, and opportunity, thrust and threat are those of the current and the future environment. So basically, opportunity and threats are talking about environment, and strength and weaknesses are about the company. Strength and weaknesses may also be defined for custom competitors. What are their strength? What are their weaknesses? The SWOT for PLM is carried out after identifying several potential strategies. So what does this point says? This point says that okay, you have understand the strategies, you have found some of the strategies. Then out of those 2 to 3 strategies or 4 to 5 strategies, whatever you feel considerable, identify those strategies. You studied properly, have the proper understanding of those strategies, and then try to implement those strategy. Do the SWOT analysis of those strategy so that you will come to know whether the strategies are correct or not. Now, in order to do SWOT analysis, there are again some questions. So these are the questions. I'm not going to read this. See, when you are doing SWOT analysis and selecting the strategy, go through these questions. Okay. Once you have gone through this question, finalize the strategy. Now the next step is strategy communication. Now this strategy should be properly communicated to each one of the one who is involved in it. It should be communication is really important. If it is not communicated, then there is no point in forming the strategy. A strategy is useless unless the people who are going to be involved are fully aware of it, or they understand it and they implement it. Okay, because finally the strategy is going to lead to the vision of the company. The name given to a strategy must be so short or simple that everyone can understand it. Now, before communicating the strategy, make sure that everyone understands the meaning of the terminology. Whatever terms are involved in the strategy, that should be first explained and then explain the strategy. Otherwise, people will not understand the meaning of the terms. Before disseminating the strategy, no, disseminating means it should be displayed at various places. It should be discussed at various places. That is called as dissemination. टेस्ट इट ऑन फ्यू पीपल हु आर टिपिकली ऑफ द ऑडियंस. तो सबको बताने के पहले ऐसे लोगों को बताओ जो ऑडियंस रहते हैं, मतलब जो सुनने के लिए इंटरेस्टेड रहते हैं, उनको बताओ. फिर बाकी लोगों को बताओ. इफ दे डोंट, इन लोगों को पता नहीं चलेगा, जो ऑडियंस है उनको पता नहीं चल रहा है, ऑडियंस टाइप पीपल है जो हमेशा सुनने के रिसीवर है, जो उनको नहीं समझ रहे, तो बाकी लोगों को समझेगा नहीं. उनको समझ रहा है, मतलब यू कैन एक्सप्लेन इट टू ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन हु इज इन्वॉल्व इन इट. No one is going to be interested in PLM strategy that doesn't seem to concern them. Abhi, this PLM strategy is developed, and if a person think that it is not of any interest to me, for example, अकाउंट पर्सन बोलेगा प्रोडक्ट सेल होने दो ना सेल होने दो, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, मैं थोड़ी प्रोडक्ट बना रहा हूँ, मैं थोड़ी उसको सेल कर रहा हूँ. Okay, so importance of that strategy, importance of vision should be communicated to that person also, so that everyone, the otherwise what he will feel, ये मेरे काम का नहीं है, so I will not implement it. Make sure that the people realize the relevance of the strategy for them as individual. The strategy message needs to be repeated. और ऐसा होगा नहीं कि एक बार तुमने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया लोगों की ये हमारा स्ट्रेटेजी, ये हमारा मिशन है. यू हैव टू कंटिन्यूसली हैमर ऑन देम. बोलना पड़ेगा ये स्ट्रेटेजी है. रिपीट इट इन डिफरेंट ओकेजन्स, इन डिफरेंट फॉर्मल मीटिंग्स, इनफॉर्मल मीटिंग्स, न्यूज लेटर्स है, प्रेजेंटेशन है, उसमें कम्युनिकेट करते रहो स्ट्रेटेजी को हमेशा कि ये हमारा स्ट्रेटेजी है. The more they understand it, the more chance it has of being implemented. Make sure people understand why it is important to understand the strategy. ये भी explain करना जरूरी है कि important क्यों है कि strategy understand करना. Make sure they understand why the strategy is necessary for the organization. Make sure people can see where it takes them as individual. Okay, so once this is done, I will take 2 minutes more. Once this is communicated to each one, the last step is the implementation of the strategy. Now, for implementation of strategy, a proper plan is to be made, and that plan should contain information about total information about the strategy, for how much period that strategy is to be implemented. Maybe generally it's done for 5 years, and a more detailed plan for the first year. What is important to be done in first year, that has to be given in detail. And once that is done, these are the things which are there, which should be there in the strategy. So I will show it in the graph. Startup, then project management. Say for start